Hey, this is Kelly from the Dolly Rocks.
This is Joe Queer from the Infamous Queers.
Hey, Sleepy P. Martini.
Hey, this is Indica Flower.
And you are listening to
Our Brains Hurt.
Our Brains Hurt.
Our Brains Hurt.
Losers.
Well, they needed a jingle for their stupid little show, so they called up the Jasons and we said, fuck no. Then they called us again and they gave us $20 and we wrote them a song that said, your podcast sucks. Then they gave us more money and they asked us really nice and we finally gave in and we said, all right, I'll write you a song, but it's gonna be a clone of a Screeching Weasel song that we heard a while ago. So we wrote them a jingle and it sounded really rad. It was the best little jingle that their podcast ever had, but the file got corrupted and the email didn't work. Now they're stuck without a jingle singing our brains hurt. Our brains hurt, our brains hurt, our brains hurt. Our brains hurt, our brains hurt, our brains hurt. Our brains hurt, our brains hurt, our brains hurt. Our brains hurt, our brains hurt, our brains hurt. In a very non-copyright infringing sort of way.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Our Brains Hurt. This episode is brought to you by PunkBox. Head over to punkboxrocks.com. That's punkboxrocks.com for your monthly subscription service to punk rock merch. Everything you would find at a punk rock merch table at a punk show, sent to your house once a month. This could include stickers, button patches, koozies, vinyl, cassettes, CDs, everything you could think of once a month. It's an awesome subscription service, punkboxrocks.com. This show is also brought to you by Merch Slut. Head over to merchslut.com for awesome band t-shirts, punk rock band t-shirts. Merch Slut gets her shirts directly from the band or the label. These are not cheap knockoffs. She also has a wide array of awesome punk rock merch. Merchslut.com. Now, let's get to the show.
So it turns out that a while back, last year, I guess at some point in time, they officially tried to change the name of Quidditch to something else because
they got in trouble.
Well, all the Quidditch players were trying to distance themselves from J.K. Rowling.
Right.
You know, I can't remember what the thing was.
She's a TERF.
Yeah,
which is basically like a trans basically it's a feminist that excludes trans people.
Yeah. So they which is funny because Oz immediately came back with he was like if you don't like somebody, he was like that's totally bullshit, because if you don't like somebody you should probably try not to be like them, not just change the wording
exactly to
make it sound like you're not like it's like
that's when that's like when vegans eat like imitation chicken. It's like why do you want it to look like stuff that was murdered? I don't get that. Just eat vegetables. It's so weird.
I mean, you can do a lot with a chickpea. Yeah, you really can.
I love hummus, man. It's one of my favorite snacks.
Fucking right, dude. I love hummus too. Red makes a little dish that is a vegan dish every once in a while. That sometimes I'll come home and ask, like, hey, can we do the vegan thing tonight? It's like chickpeas. It's couscous based. Mm-hmm. And it's just chickpeas and a whole bunch of mixed vegetables with like a bunch of butter and it's not vegan with the butter, but butter and some spice and a bunch of spices. Obviously, if you were vegan, you'd leave the butter out, duh. But
substitute olive oil. I could live off of.
Yeah, you could do.
If you just gave me like every morning, just stop by my house, gave me 2 big loaves of bread, a thing of olive oil, and some salt, I'd be happy for the rest of my life.
Oh, Ronald. The next time you come to Fredericksburg, I got to take you to the freaking olive oil store.
There's an olive oil store?
There is a store in downtown Fredericksburg that is nothing but different types of olive oil.
Are you serious?
Dead serious.
Dude, that's what I asked my daughter to get me for Christmas last year. Just a nice bottle of olive oil. That's how much I love that shit.
Bro, it's like, there's so much. And it's like,
wow.
They have like homemade stuff that you can like get out of little taps and they bottle it for you. Like,
oh shit.
Next time you come here, man, we got to go to the olive oil store.
Hell yeah, man. I love olive oil.
I think it's more just like an oil store, but
yeah,
obviously they have a lot of olive oil. They have other kinds as well.
That's cool.
I also love olive oil. I have gotten into a few other kinds too, like grapeseed oil and sesame oil. For certain, like cooking with those two. I know, people are gonna be like, "Oh, you shouldn't cook with certain kinds because I
cook with olive oil all the
time."
time.
Like I can cook whatever the fuck I want with it. Yeah. I really enjoy cooking certain things with sesame oil and certain things with grapeseed oil as well. Like sesame oil goes really well with like cooking like Asian dishes and stuff.
Yeah.
And when I season my my cast iron skillet with it, it makes it smell really good too.
Yeah, it does. It's a good smell.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, cast iron.
Oh, dude, before we went camping, I got Red for her birthday. She wanted this. I know some people consider it a faux pas to buy a woman cooking
Vacuum cleaner.
utensils for their fucking birthdays, but she likes that stuff. That's what she wants. I have like all this list, this huge list of shit she's told me over the years of shit she wants, and like half of it is cooking utensils, and like another quarter of it is like cleaning stuff.
Yeah,
But anyway, I got her a huge cast iron. Like it's a giant one.
Nice.
Like it's heavy as fuck. Like you pretty much have to use two hands to pick it up.
I have one of those too. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
they're so cool.
We can't even use it on our stove at the house.
Yeah.
Like, what's it gonna do? But camping is another fucking story.
Yeah.
There's a story. $35.
Nice.
$35. I was expecting to spend like $50 to $80 on this thing. Nope,
Yeah.
$35.
Nice.
Yeah. You know those tin camping mugs? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
They're like blue and speckled. That's like the OG ones. I have a regular size one. We found one in there that's giant. Like it will fit about the same amount of liquid as that fucking mason jar that you just had right there. Yeah. Yeah. I've been drinking coffee out of it. It's like I just need one cup of coffee. I don't have to keep going back. I make an entire pot and it goes in that one cup.
They're on the Descendants merch page. They sell this. I'm gonna buy it one of these days, but they sell a 30-ounce coffee mug.
Dude, this has got to be that. It's got to be.
Yeah,
it's huge.
I think I'm gonna get it one day because I always go back for like at least 2 or 3 cups.
At work, I wish I had one of those at work because, like, well, sometimes at work I don't have enough time to drink that whole thing. But I'll drink like fucking 5 cups of coffee at work and just have to keep going back. We get free coffee and they stock everything with like Keurig things.
Nice.
So it's free. So I'm gonna drink it. My boss is always like, "This is a well caffeinated trailer." I'm like, I bet you 70% of it's me.
Caffeine's the greatest drug on the planet.
Yeah. And there's like some really beneficial things from coffee. I understand that overuse of anything has negative.
It's an antioxidant.
And it's like really good for your kidneys and your liver. It filters both of them. If you're a boozer, being a heavy coffee drinker is actually probably something you should look into if you're not.
Yeah. I don't get people who don't drink coffee, man.
Yeah, I don't get people who don't drink coffee either. The ones that don't drink it that I do get are the ones that mutter this statement. And I've met a few over my life. How could something that smells so amazing taste so awful? And I almost kind of agree with them on that because coffee does smell so much better than it tastes. I love the taste. I drink my coffee black generally.
Yeah.
But I understand that statement.
Yeah, I get it. It's definitely an acquired taste like beer.
Yeah.
It took me like a year and a half to actually enjoy a beer from the moment I started drinking it. I hated beer.
I mean, that's understandable. That's understandable.
Yeah. So I would smoke weed all the time or drink like shitty wine or like, mixed drinks. But I kept, no one likes a quitter. So I just kept trying and trying and trying. And now beer is my best friend.
Yeah. So this begs the question then.
Yes.
Does beer smell better than it tastes, or does it taste better than it smells? I think beer tastes better than it smells. I guess it depends on the beer. Let's just say like PBR.
It depends on the. See, I'm weird because I actually like the taste. I mean, the smell. Even the next day when I'm cleaning up after a party, I like that smell of beer, which nobody in their right mind likes. And I know I'm a freak for liking it, but
that's okay. You would have been the guy to make floater casserole back in the day.
What's that?
Floater casserole?
Yeah.
Oh man, it's this thing that we invented at JMU. So when you wake up, punk rock house, you wake up from the party the next morning, on Saturday morning, everybody's a little woozy.
Yeah.
There's tons of floaters all over the
I
place.
got you. Yeah.
Yeah. And floater casserole is you mix. You take all the floaters and you dump them into like one thing, no matter what it is. It could be a liquor drink, it could be a beer drink, it could be a girly drink. You don't know, but it's all going in the same thing. And there was a floater casserole song too, and I started kind of remembering it when we went camping. I got to remember it again, but I think I might rewrite this again. I'm going to rewrite the floater casserole song. I'm bringing this back. Although
there's a cigarette butt floating in it.
That's the name of the game.
Level.
Yeah, that's the name of the game, bro. No, you never know what you might get.
Yeah,
there might be some surprises. Hey, you may get a B
if you're lucky. Yeah. All right, tonight we were talking to my brother Scott Saccoccio. He is out in LA. He is a writer. He's worked for directors Marshall Herskovitz and Ed Zwick. He wrote several episodes of the TV show Nashville. And he's done a bunch of other stuff, which I'm sure we will get into. And he is in the room, so let's do it.
Hey guys,
what's going on?
Up?
Not much. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, dude.
It's very nice to be here. I know you've had. Can you hear me? Okay, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know you guys are typically have musicians on, and I just wanted to know how many out of work, unemployed writers have you had on? And is this a new trend?
Isn't there a strike going on right now?
Yes, there is. And Hollywood is at war.
I would assume you're participating in that strike.
Yes, I'm totally participating. That's why I wanted to say off the top of the show to all of my guild brethren, I am an out of work writer. Ron, what are you drinking?
This is just cranberry juice and seltzer water.
Nice.
Yeah.
I call that in California we call that a cranster.
A cranster?
No, I just made that up.
Oh, you fucking hipsters.
I'm trying to be funny.
Well, it's a cranster now.
Exactly. That's
hashtag.
we are known for inventing drinks, and you just invented one. So
boom.
Yeah.
I am. We are out of work. We are obviously allowed to write and touch our keyboards. So I am doing that, but we aren't allowed to talk to producers, develop with producers. Our agents or managers aren't allowed to try to find us work. So everything has come to a halt. And I fear that this halt is going to last into the fall. I've heard August, but now I don't know. I feel like the AMPTP, they're not the alliance, as we like to call it. The alliance. The alliance. I want to work again in the future. So the alliance, we're far apart on some things. So it's crazy. It's crazy time. So
how long has it been going on for?
It's been going on since May. May, and we are in July now. The last big one was in 2007.
Mm-hmm.
And that lasted 6 months, I want to say. I don't want to be wrong. I have to look that up. But this is a crazy. There's so many. I don't want this to be a guild education and what we're fighting for. But there's so many things. Like just compared to 2007, the landscape has changed so much with streaming and with this fucking. I could curse on the show, right?
Oh yeah.
You say whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah. You can light your asshole on fire.
Yeah.
And this fucking AI, which is so fucking scary, that there's so much more to cover right now, and streaming has just changed the game. Just the rules that are made were made in the 80s when there was a certain amount of channels and a certain amount of shows that each show would make in a certain year. And now it's just everything has to be thrown out, but people don't want to throw it out. They just want to continue along and change little by little, but that's not what has to happen. So unfortunately, they're taking advantage of writers and they're bending the rules. And we have to fight back. So we're fighting back.
Nice.
Yeah. It's going to be. It's good. I think we are going to win, and I think it's going to be a good place for writers once again.
Well, you guys got people on your side.
We do.
Just very coincidentally,
Yes.
yesterday, I was having a conversation with a buddy of mine who's a stand-up comic who's been on this show before.
Yeah.
His name's Mark Matusoff.
Mhm.
And we were talking about the writer's strike because he is getting emails up the ass because he wrote a screenplay with the guy who like his writing partner for his stand-up stuff.
Yeah.
So he wrote a screenplay back in I won't even pretend to know how long ago. It was like probably like 20 years ago, maybe even
like
longer.
like TV or movie.
But
Okay.
they won this really, really prestigious award. It's like basically for like best screen. It never got made into a movie, which sucks. But
Yeah.
they actually went to the Oscars and
They did?
It's like this award that they give out on the backstage of the Oscars. It's like this really prestigious screenplay award.
Yes.
And they won that, and he got it. So because of that, his name is in places for
Yes.
writer stuff, but that's not his
Yeah.
thing. He likes being a stand-up, but
Yeah.
he's been getting emails up the ass about, hey,
From who?
all over fucking Hollywood offering him writing jobs, and he's turning them down
my
left
God.
and fucking right. As a matter of fact, while we were having the conversation, he got an email. He was like, see, look, check it out. Here's another one.
Oh my gosh.
But he was like, I grew up in a union family. And he was like, so he's like, basically, he's just like, I would never do anything like that to, he's like, because I could go and clean up right now, money wise. He's like, but I would
Yeah.
never, ever in a million years go and do anything like that. Cause he's like, I stand with the writers.
Great for him. That's
Yeah.
awesome. We do have people on our side.
Yeah, you definitely do.
Yeah, that's awesome. And
Yeah, can he forward those emails to me? Like, what are a couple like the big things that need to change for you guys? Like, what has streaming done? Like
streaming has done a couple of things. Streaming has lessened the amount of episodes that a show will air. It's these 8 to 10 episode series now that you're used to. That in broadcast, if you wrote on a broadcast show in the 80s, 90s, even early 2000s, even now still, you get like 26 episodes a year. And now in streaming, it's to 8 to 10, and they want to pay the same amount per episode. And so that really doesn't fly. And they're trying to shorten series lengths, and in doing so, create writers' rooms that are smaller and create these things that are now called mini rooms. And so they'll create a mini room before a project starts. They'll say, we want to get 3 writers on board to develop this and see if we like this as a show. And if it doesn't go, we stop paying them. And if it goes, we'll pay them and maybe hire one more writer. Whereas on a broadcast show, you can have like 10 to 12 writers, So it's a lot of that. And the big I guess umbrella thing we're fighting for is to raise the basic minimums. We're paid minimums, minimums per episode. And so the basic agreement right now, I actually have it here because I did my homework. We want to get like a 6 to 5% increase, and the producers are at 4 to 3 increase right now. So that's like to increase our minimum for this new contract that we're fighting for.
Yeah.
So I think it's those things. It's the mini rooms, and it's the amount of pay per episode, and it's the lessening of the episodes.
Yeah.
And it's also the residuals. It's like now how are people keeping track of the residuals on stream? Streaming's making billions and billions off of these shows, and the residual rule has stayed the same as it was for broadcast. So it's stuff's just not adding up. Netflix and all these Disney and Amazon, they're getting like super. I mean, they're already super rich, but they're getting much richer. And the writers' contracts are staying the same as they have been for the past 20 years. So, yeah.
It sounds like like the music industry, like the artist gets fucked.
Yes.
And the big wigs You know,
Yeah.
Yes.
bring home all the cash.
What is happening? How did all this happen? I mean, this isn't just a
The
writer's-
internet. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
It's
is it?
it's the it's. I don't want to sound like I'm 42. I don't want to sound old, but it is. It's and I don't want to. I'm not a conspiracy person, but I really believe this is gonna. You're gonna like make me stop the show and think I'm crazy.
No, we are conspiracy people.
I
so go
definitely will not.
I think the end of humanity is gonna be like the Terminator. That the
Yeah.
internet
Dude,
and AI. We're laughing right now and thinking, "Oh, AI, this is cool. AI is gonna fucking take over the Earth."
Yep.
And
I 100% agree. Nobody,
Yeah.
they all watched Terminator. They said, "Yeah, it's just a movie. It's not going to happen in real life." You're fucking stupid. Like,
Yeah.
come on. I could send you a picture right now. A dude who's a repeat guest on this show, my buddy Oz. He found a fucking thing from a company that was legitimately called Skynet. Somebody made a company. It's a piece of electronics too. Legitimately made a
gosh.
company called Skynet. It
Oh
existed.
my gosh.
Yes.
That's amazing. I went on and that's the other thing. We're saying to the producers that we don't want no project could be AI generated in any shape or form, right?
Mhm.
Like that seems reasonable. And the producers are not, they're saying they're not saying yes to that. They're saying no, but we'll meet you. We'll have an annual meeting each year to see where AI is.
Oh my
Because you
God.
could go on, I could go. That is fucking scary. That's like that's the biggest thing to me. When we talk about streaming, I think all the streaming stuff I said. Number two, number one is this AI shit. I went on Chat GPT and I said, write me a show about something that I want to write a show about, and it gave me. I mean, it's bad, but it gave me like 4 paragraphs of a premise. And if that's what it's at now, like in 5 years, a producer's going to say, write a script about, Johnny winning the basketball game. That's the worst pitch I ever gave. But the producer's going to do it.
So I got this
And
idea. This guy named Johnny, he's in a basketball game and he wins.
they're like, AI, you're a genius. More of that.
Yeah, this should have never happened.
It should have never happened. It's
That's
that
crazy.
it's that quote that Jeff Goldblum says in Jurassic Park that I'll always repeat. What is it? It's we were so obsessed to see if we could, we never stopped to think if we should.
Yeah.
And that will be the last quote said on Earth as a robot takes out the last few.
Dude, I mean, what was it, like about 10 years ago? That dude made that robot that looked like a kind of like a woman, and they were like interviewing it, and they like said something about destroy all humans, and it was like, yes, I'll destroy all humans. And the guy was like, we're gonna we'll turn that off here for a second. Yeah.
But no, you see these videos pop up that I don't like. It's always these videos you don't know if they're real, and it's somewhere in, I guess maybe Japan, and there's just robot like walking around like an auditorium, and it's like doing stuff, and you're like, wait, is this like a real thing that's happening?
Yeah.
And it's real. Like it's no shit. And they're gonna have brains that are better than our brains.
Their brains already are better than our brains.
Yeah, and they don't get sick. So I guess they could get a virus.
They get a virus.
Yeah.
I mean, there's that too, and then like Neuralink, like which is just insane to think about. But like the issue with Neuralink then becomes, and this is already being talked about a lot in the world, in some circles at least, is when you connect the human brain to basically an AI brain or something that is, associated with AI, who owns the rights to that link, and then who owns the rights to what's in your brain.
That's crazy.
And that's a large debate right now in the world in a lot of circles. And Chile has actually already put laws on their books.
Oh, they have?
For protecting the rights to what's in humans' brains. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So Chile is the first country to do it.
Gosh.
This happened like probably 6-8 months ago or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
I,
gosh.
I always said I should have been born in 1920. This shit's too much for me.
It's too much.
I should have been dead before 2000. And I like TV. TV from the 60s and 70s is my favorite.
What's your favorite TV show from the 60s or 70s?
Oh, Sanford and Son. That's probably my
Sanford and
favorite
Son.
TV show of all time.
Is it?
Yeah, Red Fox is a genius in my mind. But
He is a genius. He is a genius.
Yeah, just that, and plus, like TV. I don't know. It's before all the woke shit too. It was like,
Yeah.
you could goof on each other and not worry about
Yeah.
getting canceled and shit like that. But,
You know what you said. What you just said reminded me. I just saw an old episode of Married with Children,
Great show.
and
Great show.
such a great show.
Yeah.
It's one of, like, growing up. I remember not being allowed to watch that, but watching it anyways, and just that was my first introduction, I think, to comedy. And it was like, it was just, you cannot do any of that now.
yeah,
You can't do any of that now. Like the whole, like, you can't. It's crazy.
yeah.
There was two shows in my household growing up that we sat down and watched religiously when they came on, and that was Married with Children and Roseanne.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Now both of them are pariahs.
Yeah.
Poor Roseanne.
Yeah.
What happened with Roseanne and
On Theo Von.
and Theo Von? Yeah, what happened?
It was a joke. So all right, so she went
Well,
on Theo.
A very dry joke that people
Yes.
don't understand as a joke, and even Theo himself wasn't understanding that it was a joke while she was saying it at points.
Right. So basically, what she was trying to say that the election was stolen.
Okay.
But she was saying it in a way. She was saying, like, yeah, there's definitely, like, there was 81 million people in all those counties, and of course they all voted for Joe Biden. That's completely normal. And she was saying stuff like that, and then she was like, and also, like, there were no Jews that died in the Holocaust. That did no Jews died in the Holocaust. She's like, a lot of Jews deserve to die and should die now.
Right.
And she was just saying, she was being very weird and dry.
That
I
was
might be
yeah.
getting it wrong, but, like,
But she is Jewish herself.
yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is one of the
Yes.
things, that people should know from that. But yes,
Yes.
it was very dry. I think her first thing was, because 36 counties had 81 million people that voted for Joe Biden, and that is obviously a fact. That was what started the whole thing. And she said it just like that too. And Theo Von was like, "What, really?" Like he clearly did not get that she was joking. Yeah.
Yeah, but then the next day, all the news outlets just show the clip of her saying that about Jews without any context whatsoever. It's like,
Of course they did.
Yeah, the uncontexted thing was the quote for her is, "All the Jews should have died in the Holocaust," like, which is like, wow, like seeing that out of context is like, holy shit, somebody said that in 2023. What the fuck are you thinking? But, like,
Oh my God.
it was a sarcastic joke from a Jewish woman. Yeah.
So that's what happened. Okay, got it.
Yeah, but they're being banned. I think with Theo Von's YouTube channel is banned for 30 days. I think.
Yeah.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Or 60 days.
Trouble, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's 60
Oh my
days.
gosh.
actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous.
Can you guys get banned or you can't? What are the rules
know.
here?
Joe Rogan's on Spotify, so I feel like anything we do is
we get warning. We get every now and then our episodes will get flagged for, like, misinformation. Right?
Oh, really?
Don't we have a couple of those? Don't we have? Didn't we get COVID flags on some of our episodes?
we did get COVID. The best, yeah, we did get COVID flags on a few of them. The best one that we got COVID flagged for was an I can't remember what episode was it, but we didn't even talk about COVID.
Yeah.
But I think COVID.
And you got flagged for
COVID,
Yeah.
COVID. I think I said it enough times now for this episode to get flagged.
Yeah, we'll have like a little. There'll be like a little thing on this episode.
That's like
Yeah.
true information about
Okay.
COVID-19. Click here.
Yeah. That's all.
Just from saying the fucking word.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny, man.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy times. It must be interesting being a writer in these times. How do you
It is-
navigate that shit? Like, I mean, because you're I mean, like, I don't want to make this a political podcast either, but you're in the suck. You're in the, like, the taint of wokeness. You know, Hollywood is like the taint of wokeness. So how do you
I I know, and it's hard for me to navigate it politically. I consider myself a conservative Democrat.
Yeah.
I think I could say I'm in the middle.
Yeah.
Obviously, out here is very left.
Mhm.
I
That would-
agree.
That would be like a classic liberal.
Yeah.
That would be, yes, me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
That's kind of what I consider myself. As
Yeah.
well.
Same. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's I want to get into things, but I also want to get a job again.
I know.
But
you know,
listen, most of the stuff that I am attracted to and that I want to write, I want to create a little noise with. I want to kind of make people think. I don't just want to write inside the lines for Hollywood. And right now, Hollywood seems to be only getting people views that are inside their lines.
right.
And that's frustrating for me. And it's tough for me. And it's tough for me if I want to write about a trans masculine character that I have in a script that I'm working on right now, because I'm not trans masculine, unfortunately. Hollywood, not all the time, but tends to try to pigeonhole you to you could write basically. I think we've fallen too much into you could write what you know, staying inside their guidelines.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Does that make sense at all? I don't know if I already
Yeah,
got
totally.
myself in trouble.
No, it totally makes sense. Like,
You didn't get yourself
Yeah.
in trouble.
How many people listen to this?
You know,
6 million.
no,
yeah.
no, not
No,
that.
not 6 million.
It's tough because you want to break the mold as a writer, and you want to get people thinking, and you don't want to stay inside the lines. But right now, it's this very, very weird time that I think all of America is going through. Some push back more than others. Hollywood really doesn't push back. Hollywood feeds into it.
Mhm.
And the feeding into it isn't what I agree with. So it is tough for me to follow. You gotta write. To sit and write is an excruciating process for
Mhm.
me, at least. It's tough to do. It's a lonely process, but when you love something, it's easy. And sometimes the things I love, I know won't sell. And they always say, "Oh, write whatever you love. Don't pay attention to what's not selling." But that's not true. You can't just write what you love, because some people will get offended, or some people will think that it's not possible to write that.
You can't in 2023. You can't just say fuck those people.
You can't say fuck those people. No, you can't say fuck those people.
damn.
People have said
Yeah.
fuck those people and are moving out of Los Angeles. But I love it here, and I love Hollywood, and I think things will change. I'm sticking with it, but it's very tough. Have been out of work for a few years. And so, yeah, I don't know. You can edit that part out, that I've been out of work, because then people were like, "Why do you have this guy on? He's been out of work for a few years." But I love the process. It's like sitting down to write is tough, but sharing your ideas with people, pitching. I love pitching. I love being in a writer's room. It's the best thing to do. It's the best thing to go to work and to write with other people. It's really a collaborative experience. Just right now, they're making it tougher and tougher as these rooms get smaller and smaller to get into a writer's room. And that's, as a writer, that's the best gig. That's continuous money, to get on a show. It's tough to just sell things, get a pop here and a pop there. And so you can't, and especially me, I have 3 kids to support a family. It's tough.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know if that answered the question, or if I'm like skirting around the
No, it
question.
did. It answered the question.
Yeah. What are some of the places you've pitched? Like you've done like Netflix, and
I've pitched to Netflix and to Peacock and to NBC. And this is I just switched the camera. Is that okay?
yeah, it's fine.
I'm sitting on my bed.
Yeah.
So this is an example of some project that I did love, that fell into the guidelines, I think, of what Hollywood wants. I was coming off Nashville, so I said, why not write another country music show? So
Yeah.
I wrote another country music show, but to be a little bit more edgy than Nashville was, like kind of in the vein of A Star Is Born with Bradley Cooper, if you ever saw that movie. And I wanted to go back in time and show this family playing music at present time, and then show them in the 70s how they came to be, how like the mother and father, the matriarchs came to be.
Mhm.
And so I pitched that to Netflix, Peacock, and NBC, and they all supposedly loved it. They always say they like it on the pitch, and the pitch always goes well. And then you wait 2 weeks, and they're like, no, and you just want to like crawl into a hole. But
What's the overlords that
Yeah.
they liked it, but the overlords,
Yeah.
no,
It always goes so.
cigar.
Yeah. It always goes so. The pitch always goes so well, and everyone's so nice. And they're like, yeah, and you get so you're like, oh my god, I'm going to sell this to Netflix, and then it's no. So yeah, those are places that I've pitched, and I worked with Universal Music Group on that as partners. They were my partner, and they have a lot of musicians that we were going to try to integrate their music into the show, like Chris Stapleton and Carrie Underwood and a bunch of other artists. So it was good. It was a good package that we put together, and it just didn't go anywhere. And so here I am. Here I am.
Slumming with us.
Slumming with
See, if you would have sold that, you'd be on Joe Rogan right now.
No way. I love this. This is like the second I went to. My episode of Nashville aired at Austin. Austin has a television festival every year that's really great. And I had my episode air there, and it was in a movie theater. It was so cool. And then I got to be on a panel. They interviewed me and stuff. So that was the first interview I ever did. And this is the second interview I ever did.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah.
I think
This is
so.
way more professional.
Yeah,
This is way more professional.
Yeah, way more.
Yeah, way more.
As Matt chugs his seltzers.
I
What
don't
are you
know
drinking,
you're
Matt?
talking about. Dead White Claws.
What flavor?
Well, it's an assortment of flavors, but currently I am drinking
What is it?
watermelon, which is my favorite.
White Claw.
Oh,
Yeah.
White Claw. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm drinking Coke Zero.
Coke Zero. Oh, yeah.
Do you like Coke Zero?
I don't like Coke Zero. I like Diet Coke better.
Oh, you do? Interesting.
There's a difference.
Yeah, Coke Zero is more cokey.
Okay, yeah, they have both. So what is the difference? I don't know.
Diet Coke seems you could definitely taste the difference between Diet Coke and regular Coke. This Coke Zero, it still has 0 calories, but falls. I don't know what they did to it, but it tastes maybe a little bit more. I know syrupy is a bad word, but a little closer to regular Coke in my taste.
Yeah.
I drink too much Coke Zero.
For some reason, Diet Coke is the only diety thing that I could drink.
Can we talk about?
Yeah, talk about what? Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. It's your show. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I wanted. Ron, stop it! Stop asking these questions.
It's like he's got to ask the tough questions.
My friend told me a story once that him and 2 other friends were really, really drunk, and they called this is like before Uber, and they called a taxi, and they were figuring out, they were sitting in the back super drunk, and they were figuring out like where they were going and talking amongst themselves. And the driver goes, "Where to?" And my friend goes, "Why are you so nosy?" He tells it better, but it's so fucking funny that they were oblivious that they were sitting in a taxi. I want to see what shows, if any, what shows you guys are watching right now.
All right, Matt, you want to go ahead?
So I'm not really, not really watching any shows, but I watch shows with my girlfriend that she watches, and we were just watching The Mick, which I thought was fantastic and super offensive for the time period. It is no wonder it got canceled after 2 seasons. I'm really sad that it got canceled though, because it was really good, and the end of the 2nd season was a total cliffhanger.
Oh, was it? I didn't see it, but I heard it's really good.
Yeah. Oh my God. Like, I don't know how that show existed in current times. It's about like male models, right? Or something like that. No. It's the what's her name? I can't think of her name, but the chicken, It's Always Sunny, that's married.
Yes.
To,
I'm thinking of something different.
D from It's Always Sunny.
Yeah.
And it's like this really rich family and
Yes.
something happens to the
Yes.
parents, and she's like the aunt or whatever, and comes in, and her and her boyfriend and this like Mexican maid have to take care of these kids, and it is really good, and it really sucks that it was canceled after 2 seasons.
Yeah. She's hilarious.
Yeah, it's very Always Sunny-esque. It's offensive in the same kind of way, but It's Always Sunny's never going to get canceled because they have carte blanche. I guess they're grandfathered in at this point. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know how they keep.
I know.
I know how they right. Yeah,
getting away with what they do in this day and age because they're fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, great show.
Great show.
Great. Oh, the Mick was great. It sucks. It was a major network. I'm sure that's why it got canceled.
Ron, what about you?
So I Wu-Tang American Saga, that show I watched like probably towards the beginning of the year. I like binged that whole series, which was fucking awesome. And I'm watching Silo right now on Apple.
Oh, is that good?
Yeah, I read the book years ago, and the book is amazing.
Okay. Okay, cool.
And I actually just watched the final episode of season 1 like an hour ago before we started this.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. I want to watch that. I watched on Apple. I just started Hijack with Idris Elba.
Okay.
And I was choosing between the two, and it's cool. It's a cliffhangy, as the title would say. A plane gets hijacked, and Idris Elba is this like negotiator, and he tries to negotiate with the people that hijacked the plane. It's a little weird.
Is he on the plane?
He's on the plane.
Okay.
Yeah, he's on the plane, and there's like there's like 10 hijackers in all parts of this huge international flight, and they all have guns, and I don't think they've explained yet how they got the guns on the plane.
Yeah.
But they all had a plan, and they all have guns, and Idris Elba is like, I'm gonna negotiate the shit out of this and save this fucking plane. It's going from Dubai to London.
Okay.
And he's like, I don't know. I thought it was going to turn into some like Liam Neeson thing, and he's going to start kicking the shit out of people. And it ends. The first episode ends in London, where his son is, and someone asks like, "What does your dad do, anyways?" And I thought he was going to say like, "He kicks ass," and cut back to like beating up the hijackers. But like, he's the best negotiator in the world, or something like that. And you see. I'm giving a really bad pitch to the show, but it's really good.
You're hired.
It's really good. It's really good.
That's funny.
We also are watching What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, I love that show.
Always
That
good.
show is they're such fucking geniuses.
Yeah.
It is so good.
One of my cat's names is Naja.
Really?
Yeah. Our female cat is Naja.
Is it?
Oh my god.
Is it faux pas? I did have a second show I actually did start watching. Is it faux pas to say I started watching the new Marvel show, The Secret Invasion?
No, it's not faux pas.
Okay.
Cool.
How's that?
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. It's an espionage Marvel show
Yeah, that's cool.
with Samuel L. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. Samuel Jackson.
Listen, it's the company that's destroying movies, but that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. There
That's Martin Scorsese and Tarantino.
There was a funny moment in it. They if you have watched previous Marvel things, they did a little flashback to like the blip.
Yeah.
And as he pulls out, like Samuel L. Jackson pulls out the thing and he starts to fade away. He looks at his little text and he's like, and his body starts to turn to dust, and he's like, I thought that was pretty funny. I was like, oh, they tried to incorporate it in this too.
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, movies, I don't know. I'm like more of a TV guy. I don't know why I kind of fell into TV. It seemed like when I came out to Hollywood, the easier way to make money. And so I kind of hooked up with these producers that became my mentors. They did, it's Marshall Herskovitz and Ed Zwick. They did like Blood Diamond and Last Samurai and Defiance and
Blood Diamond is a fantastic.
Yeah. And so they took over the show Nashville, and sorry, my kids. They took over the show Nashville, and I was given the chance to write an episode. And so as I was kind of, spending more time in Hollywood, it seemed like TV was more of a direct route, because movies is just like, unless you have an amazing script like your friend, it's just it's right now it's very, very hard unless your name's not like Marvel, Scorsese.
Yeah.
Not that anyone's name is Marvel, Johnny Marvel.
This Marvel guy is everywhere.
What is this Marvel guy?
It's pronounced Marvel.
Yeah.
Just some little Jewish guy.
But it's now just about movies are like, what can you make in the first weekend? And that's it. And no one cares about anything else. It's sad. I saw that I love a good raunchy comedy. And I saw that new Jennifer Lawrence movie.
How was that?
It was good.
hot
No hard feelings.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Cool.
And they kind of pushed the limits again. And she has a really cool, funny scene where the movie's out, where she gets into like a fight totally naked on the beach. Like she beats like 3 people up totally naked.
That's awesome.
But it's cool stuff like that you don't really see in movies. Like that's like that comedies are kind of, that those kind of comedies aren't being made as much.
Yeah.
I think because of what you mentioned earlier.
I think TV also, you have more time to like develop characters and relationships.
Yes.
And
yes.
It seems like it would be more interesting to write like an entire series than
yes.
just a movie.
Yeah, it is. And that's the best part of TV is like, that's what I start from, is a character, like a really cool, I kind of like the anti-hero, a guy that you can't imagine rooting for, but can't help but rooting for.
Mhm.
And it's like TV now provides, it seems like movies provide the big flashy scenes now that you want to see, but TV provides the characters, like the Walter Whites and the Tony Sopranos and the I don't know who's another great character. Anyone. I don't know. Those two are good enough as examples.
Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty. Are you guys Breaking Bad fans?
I never watched one episode.
I never
my
watched
God.
one episode either.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I have no issues with anything about that show. It never happened.
Oh, yeah, it's brilliant. It's really good.
I was in the middle of I was huge on Game of Thrones, and I knew that I knew that I would love Breaking Bad if I started watching it. I didn't want to fall in love with anything at the time, so I just never did.
Yeah.
But I'm sure I will go back and watch. Like I just binged The Sopranos earlier this year. I had never seen all The Sopranos.
Oh, you've never seen the whole thing?
No, I saw
cool.
like the last 2 seasons. When they came out, but like I had never watched all the episodes.
But yeah, Breaking Bad, if I could recommend one show, Breaking Bad is one of my favorites. It's a really good show.
Yeah.
I have a fun story about the motel that they used
in like New Mexico?
In Albuquerque. Yeah.
In Albuquerque?
Yeah, my band Savage Remains, when we were on tour and we went out west, we were in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
And we're getting into Albuquerque. And this is like right after the show ended. Like maybe less than a year after the show ended. And our friends that we were staying with in Albuquerque had actually lived, and they moved from here in Fredericksburg, Virginia, out to Albuquerque. The first apartment they lived in, there were a couple, was actually the apartment that was used in the show.
Oh, really?
And so they would they had no idea when they moved out there. So it was like literally like right after the show ended, the apartment went up for rent, and they rented this apartment coming from Fredericksburg, Virginia. Had no fucking clue. No idea. And so they would get knocks on their door like 3-4 times a day, and would open their door, and it would be people with like cameras. And they were like, what the fuck is happening? Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So they moved.
Why are people bringing all this? Why are people bringing all this meth to my door?
Yeah. So,
It's the best apartment ever.
they lived it. Yeah, they ended up breaking their lease in that apartment and moving into a different apartment because of it.
Oh wow.
And so when we got into town, we're driving down like we turn onto like the main strip in Albuquerque, or one of the main strips. And there's like this old 50s looking motel that's like just like destroyed. It looks like half burnt and just kind of like caved in on itself. And there's this big like chain link fence around it that's clearly not supposed to be there with barbed wire. And it's like, do not enter, like whatever the signs were saying.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh man, what happened there? And so we get to their apartment and they start telling us the story about, the first apartment they lived in. And I was like, yeah, there was this really cool 50s looking motel that was like all fucked up. And they were like, oh my God. They were like, that was the motel that they used, that where the basement was, where the meth lab was in the show.
Yeah.
And they were like, no shit. They were like, that was a seedy motel before like Hollywood took it over and used it for the show for years. And they were like, as soon as the show ended, and they got all their shit and got out, it went right back to being a seedy motel. And they were like, no shit, that motel blew up from a meth lab being put in the fucking
It did?
in real life. Yes.
Yeah.
And we just so happened to come through Albuquerque right after it happened. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Art imitating life, and then
Yep.
life imitating art.
Yep.
Oh my God. It's amazing.
That's a rad no effects tattoo you have there, Scott.
Oh, thank you. I got it
Twins.
with my brother. Twinsies. I have the No Effects, the Misfits, and the Rancid. Next is going to be the Bad Religion.
Yeah.
And you get the Bad Religion.
I was going to ask what your favorite Bad Religion album is.
Suffer.
Okay.
Suffer, then No Control.
Yeah, Matt's a no control guy too. We just
No
learned.
control. Yeah.
Suffer, No Control, then I guess maybe Stranger Than Fiction.
Mhm.
Man, you're the man after my own taste.
And they're probably like up there in my, those three could be up there like in my top, I don't know, 7 albums of all time. I don't know why I said 6 or 7. I should say 5. But yeah, I love those 3 albums are amazing.
Yeah.
No control is the shit.
No Control is the shit.
That is the shit.
Yeah. There needs to be, we were talking a little bit about this, Ron. I don't want to like say whatever. There needs to be some more punk rock on TV. How can we get more punk rock onto TV shows?
We could talk about this a little bit if you want, but I could cut it out.
Okay.
I don't know how superstitious you are about like.
Yeah, no, I don't like saying. Yeah, anything I say, like then I get like bad juju.
Okay. I'll tell Matt later then.
I'm getting some punk rock into movies.
You're getting some punk rock in the movies?
Matt just acted in a movie for a week.
I did.
You did?
Yeah. A buddy of mine. Well, I shouldn't say a buddy of mine. He became a friend of mine because a friend of mine got cast in one of his movies and then hooked us up with him, and he came on the podcast, and then him and I became really friendly. And now I just filmed my first movie with him, but I'm casting like 2 others with him.
Oh, nice.
And he and I have also put together the soundtrack for a few of his movies, or am putting together the soundtrack. Yeah, including this new one, which he asked me to do. And a lot of it's like punk rock stuff. So
that's really cool.
Yeah. Independent filmmaker. Granted, the film we just filmed is not independent. He got hired by a production company to do this one, but
okay. Yeah, I don't know. Ron, you can mention, I just don't mention like the setup or like my you know what I mean? Like details about it. But I mean there's nothing to mention. I just love No Effects and I want to make a project about them.
Yeah.
So I would love to take their book and make it into something if someone's not doing that already.
Yeah.
'Cause I think it's such a great book and there's so much there. Again, this is the problem. It's like you fall in love with something and I'm trying to think, where would that go? And you think, oh gosh, there's like 500 places, 500 between streaming and channels. But with I'm doing air quotes for all those who are listening, with the rules today, like where could something like that go? I don't know. Would Netflix even make something like that? Would Amazon? I don't know. I don't know. So, but
Wow.
it's something I'm definitely into right now, and trying to see how I could make that into something, and see, Ron, who we could like present it to. You know?
Yeah.
That
Yeah, because I talked to Fatty's assistant, and he said that nobody's doing it right now, and they would definitely read it if he got him a first episode. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
that's
I can cut that
just-
part out. if you
yeah.
want. But
No, that's
yeah,
okay. That's just
Yeah.
that's okay. That's just so much. Just like hearing you say that just gives me goosebumps. It's like it's so much fun to sit and listen to No Effects and to write that. So that's
Yeah.
actually what I was working on a little bit before I got on here, and just like I'm just gonna push through and see if if he would just read it, that would be a dream. You know, just
Yeah.
for him to take a look and say yes or no. Because if he says yes, and then it's like yes, you can have the music, then I think there would be serious buyers. I think, but I mean,
I
what's
think
his
Well, there
face?
wouldn't be.
Yeah,
What's
you
his
think,
face is
right,
making
Matt? Like, if Fat Mike wanted to make a show, there would definitely be buyers.
He knows
He
enough
would be-
people.
Yeah,
Yeah, he would be producer. Fat Records would be like producers, and then yeah, I don't know. This is my goal if he's listening. If you could send this clip to him, that's what I'm working on. But no, I'm gonna write the first episode and just get it to them and see what they say.
yeah.
I'm still curious why Mike hasn't, and obviously because they probably don't know each other, but why he hasn't been like pushed to be on Joe Rogan.
Right. You know, I was wondering that in the car. I was like, has he ever been on Joe Rogan?
He hasn't. Doug Stanhope has, and Mike and Doug are friends,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and like I don't know. It just seems like
I think that
choice. Mike's famous enough to have and done the weirdest shit on the face of the planet. Like, and that book, god damn, the book. Like,
Yeah,
what we're
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about. It seems like it would be a natural thing for that to happen, but I guess the dots haven't been connected.
Yeah.
the only thing is Joe Rogan's become a bit of a pariah to the left, especially with the COVID stuff. So a lot of people, he might have. I bet you, Mike
Was
has been
asked.
invited on and just said no.
I mean, that's possible. That's possible.
But when we talked to Mike, it seemed like he was sick of that bullshit too, right? Didn't you get that kind of?
I don't think Mike would turn down that.
Yeah, maybe not.
Because of
he would, if anything, he would
people
debate
think
it
politically.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
that's
Mike-
the thing that Mike's worried about.
Because he moved to Vegas recently.
He's been canceled many times himself.
Yeah.
And he said with us, like the third time he was canceled.
He's like, yeah, it's the third time in a year.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
right before he came on the show, he
Yeah.
said something about what's her name from Paramore?
yeah,
Yeah,
the whole Christian
Oh, she-
thing, which
she
is
gives
true.
good
Like,
rim jobs.
he
He said that.
Yeah,
That's
apparently,
the
like,
thing
she
about-
was- yeah,
that's the thing about getting canceled. The woke mob has short memories.
yes.
They really do.
The
Unless
Muslim
you do,
does-
they do. Unless you do something really, really, really bad. Like actually bad.
like
Yeah.
his Vegas thing.
That wasn't that. That's the.
It wasn't that bad either.
It's
but
not
now
that
he lives
bad.
There, so
It's not that bad.
it fucked
He
him up
lives in
for a
Vegas.
good year though. Yeah, he lives in
Wait,
Vegas.
what's fucked him up for a good year?
When he got, remember what they said on stage about after the shooting in Vegas?
Oh yeah. Okay.
And I don't even think he said it. I think it was Melvin who said it.
No, it wasn't Mike.
No, I don't think it was.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's not, no
yeah.
effects got canceled. It wasn't, but people pointed their fingers at Mike because he's easy to point.
all they said was like they're like at least it was just country fans or something like that.
No, it was
Right.
Or
It was like, well,
yeah,
if you're a country music fan.
yeah, it was, and then like every the rest of their tour got canceled that year. Like they couldn't go to Canada or some shit, like whatever. But obviously that's faded away because they're bigger than ever.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Well, it doesn't matter how big you are.
yeah,
If
It doesn't
unless
matter.
It's,
No.
yeah, unless it's like something that's like actually criminally bad.
right.
People have very short memories, and all of it goes away.
Unless you're like The Rock. I feel like The Rock can't get canceled.
Yeah.
Like if you're so big, he's like the biggest.
Yeah.
I feel like no one could cancel The Rock.
You
know
ever
what I
see him
mean?
do his like Chinese impersonation in the wrestling ring?
Or the skit on Saturday Night Live where he was the scientist that invented the robot that molested children.
I never saw that.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh, I'm going to
Oh,
look that up
shit.
after this.
Yeah,
I never saw that. Oh my gosh.
That's hilarious.
it's so good. The whole skit is like a
Yeah.
goof on White Castle, but
That's funny.
I know that doesn't make any sense. You just have to watch it. Yeah, it's like evil. Just type in The Rock Evil Genius SNL or something like that. Yeah,
Just the concept is hilarious.
it's so good. Yeah,
Just hearing somebody say The Rock invented a robot that molests children is the funniest thing ever.
yeah.
All right, Scott, I'm going to ask you these 3 questions before I forget to ask. We asked
Yeah.
these 3 questions to everybody, and they
Okay.
don't have anything to do with anything really. But if you were on death row, what would your final meal be?
My final meal would be a burger from Five Guys with the fries and a
Yes.
vanilla shake.
Nice.
Virginia for the win.
That's right.
Love Five Guys.
Hell yeah.
I love
It's the
love
best
Five
burger.
Guys. It is
I
the
think it's-
best
I think it's my
thing
favorite
in the
burger.
world.
Yeah,
Virginia
It like
bacon.
that's right.
it's so good, and then it just like melts in your mouth. It is fucking. I don't
It's
know what.
delicious.
It is delicious.
The bread is
delicious.
perfect. The bun
Everything.
is like, yeah. Yeah.
Since you live in California, do you scoff at people who try to compare In and Out with Five Guys?
Do I? Well, yeah. Like I'm not a big like. Oh, In and Out is the king of burgers. You know.
Yeah, like how do people compare In and Out with Five Guys? They're on different levels. Like In and Out.
They're on levels.
Yeah,
And I think people say In and Out because they're pressured because they have to because they're like in LA and they're like, oh no, In and Out's the best burger. It's like, oh, that's bullshit. You don't
It's
have to
not.
say that.
yeah,
And the fries are not really
Horrible.
good at all.
Absolutely hard.
Fries are horrible.
yeah.
So yes, I do. It's like it's crazy. There's no contest. I would
It's
put
insane.
even I might put Shake Shack even above In and Out.
Yes.
Maybe.
Shake.
Yeah.
You can compare Shake Shack and Five Guys. Like they're on the same level. They're different types of burgers, obviously.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
Shake Shack is a clear smash burger.
Yes.
Five Guys not really a smash burger.
No.
But yeah, like I don't understand how people can put In and Out on the same level as Five Guys. They're not. It's a totally different world. Yeah,
Totally different.
In and
And
Out's a
they're
fast
building-
food burger.
Yeah.
There's a I don't eat it as much because there's a Five Guys from me probably like 20 minutes away, and now they're building an In and Out like just like 2 blocks down the street on Ventura from me. So yeah. So I mean, I eat it, but
Yeah,
I'd much rather Five Guys.
I would eat In and Out if I lived out there too, like 100%.
Yeah.
But like they
Yeah.
are not anywhere close to being in the same world of burgers.
No.
Did you hear about the mystery In and Out burger that was found on a street in Brooklyn last year?
No.
Yeah, it was there was somebody was walking across the street in Brooklyn and it was a perfectly wrapped In and Out burger laying on the street.
What
And
the fuck?
for days, people were like, where did this come from? Because there's no In and Out on the East Coast.
Yeah.
And
Not even close.
yeah, and it started to gain like a lot of people thought it was like some weird like artsy type of thing that somebody was doing, you know,
Yeah.
to fuck around. But ended up some chick just had flown out from LA and it was in her bag and it just fell out on the street when she was but it was in the news for like a week.
I was just holding on to it. It's cool. It's like
Yeah. So
That's
weird.
that should tell you right there that Five Guys and In and Out are not on the same level because if
Yeah.
you can carry an In and Out burger in your
Burger.
bag,
Not good.
all the way
Yeah.
to New York, it lands on the street and it's still perfectly wrapped and looks like a normal burger. I'll tell you what, Five Guys burger ain't gonna look normal by the time it gets to New York and falls on a street.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right. Second question is so one of the things that science actually does now, if you get cremated, they could take your ashes and form it into a vinyl record. So if you were going to have your ashes eternalized in an album, a record of your choice, which album would you pick?
Wait, people are really doing this?
Yeah. You can
Yeah.
actually do it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh. Oh gosh, that's a tough one. I'm gonna say, oh gosh. Do you guys have yours?
I go back and forth, but
It
and we
changes.
all do. Yeah, it changes. Like I usually say Michael Jackson Thriller
Yep.
because Thriller was the first song / video that made me be like, music is fucking awesome. Like, this
Yeah.
is- but then he touched boys apparently. So, but I still might go, and I still might. But I always, if I go punk rock, I go boogada 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 from Screeching Weasel.
Yeah.
But Matt, who's yours today?
Well, like a veil is always a big one for me, whether it's like 4 a.m. Friday or Over the James, as I'm a Virginia boy and
Yeah.
grew up listening to them. But like, there's other records. God, and off the top of my head right now, I know there's a couple others.
I have listen, I think the first time that I was like, oh my God, like with like punk and music might have been Green Day, like seeing like the basket case video.
Mhm.
And so I don't know if I would say Dookie.
It's a
Maybe
great record.
Kerplunk.
Such a
Yeah.
good record,
Yeah.
Kerplunk or Dookie. I think that was the first time I tried to imitate music. Like me and Jeff, my friend Jeff, would sit and just listen to the album over and over again and just try to play all the chords, like as
Mhm.
you know. So it was the first time that, and Nevermind. So it would probably be Dookie or Nevermind.
Yeah. Nevermind's a good one.
Yeah.
So Circle Jerks Group Sex is another one that
Circle Jerks.
comes to mind.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
Classic LA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that record.
Yeah.
Love it.
All right, third question. Who is on your Mount Rushmore of punk rock? And you get 5 people, so you get a crazy horse too. So the 4 presidents and a crazy horse. So 5 people who would make up your Mount Rushmore of punk rock.
Oh my gosh. Fat Mike.
Yeah.
Greg Graffin. Oh gosh. Tim from Rancid.
Okay.
Tim Armstrong, right? Tim Armstrong.
Yeah.
So what I got? Fat Mike, Greg Graffin, Tim Armstrong, Glenn Danzig,
Gotcha.
and Henry Rollins.
All right. That's solid.
Boom.
Rollins.
I mean, if
Is that good?
It's yours. I mean, we've had so many weird answers on this.
I think that would probably be the consensus if you asked like punks all over the United States or all over the world. That probably would end up being the consensus of what actually would end up on the punk rock.
Yeah.
Or something close
question.
to that. Yeah.
If I'm gonna go if I'm gonna put somebody from Bad Religion on the Mount Rushmore, it's gonna be Mr. Brett.
Brett Gurwitz.
But that's just because of Epitaph too, like him running Epitaph. But Graffin, I mean, Matt, you put Graffin on yours.
Graffin's on mine. Yep.
Yeah.
All the Yahays. Yahey. You got him. He is his own animal, and I love him, and he's just brilliant.
Yeah.
He's brilliant.
All right, man. Well,
crazy.
Thanks for joining us, dude. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hey, I was very honored to be here.
Yeah.
Very honored, and it's great. You guys are really good at what you do.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I just want to say that for taking the time to do this is really cool.
Was really nice to finally meet you, Ron. Ron's told me a ton about you.
Yeah.
Over the past
great
couple
to meet
years.
you finally.
Yeah. Maybe one day we'll do it in person,
Yes, exactly. I would like that.
Man.
We'll
try to go out. We should all try to go out to that final No Effects show in October.
I'm totally there.
Yeah.
We should. It's gonna be October.
October 2024. Yep.
Okay,
it'll be somewhere. I don't know where the fuck it'll be, but yeah.
And then we'll go to Vegas and check out the Punk Rock Museum.
Punk Rock Museum. That'd be great.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Awesome.
All right, Scott. Give the kids a kiss for me.
I will. Thank you guys.
Yep.
Yeah, dude.
Have a good night. Okay. Bye.
You too.
Thanks for hanging out for another week. Be sure to check out punkboxrocks.com and merchslut.com. Check us out on all social media outlets at Our Brains Hurt and at ourbrainshurt.com. We will talk to you next week. Stay safe. Adios.
How do I do this shit? I can still hear you. So what do I have to press? Close.